It's almost 6 p.m. I'm really tired. It feels like it's been a long day. It's been a relatively productive, but not the most productive. Specifically, there are these two things that I really wanted to ship. I wanted to ship something before a call today that I had at 4 p.m. and that didn't happen. And it just goes back to that thing of like feeling like I'm not making progress, like I'm treading through quicksand. That's the worst part about debugging stuff, is just like more and more issues, and there's just more little things and little whatever. That's really sucked, honestly. And these are like right now I'm waiting on these back end things. And my backend guy hasn't replied, and I feel like maybe he hasn't been so on top of things the past week. And it's gonna happen. You're gonna have your players, like your A players, are gonna have their off time too. But it's been a bit difficult because he's the one guy I rely on for backend, and I'm not gonna do it myself because, well, I wouldn't consider myself a backend dev. There was a point in time where I was full stack. But then I stopped kind of developing API stuff. I stopped practicing. And so now I'm super rusty. And if I jump in, I'm not going to be like, it's going to take me really long to get back. Like, also, I don't know his code base, right? Like he does. And it's just like, I'm going to take way too long to get up to speed on things and waste my time. And it's frustrating because I have to wait. And I think I might have to, maybe just have a word about like expectations, because it's been a little, we've waited a little bit. Anyway, what did I do? I woke up really early. I kind of wasted time until about 9:30. Then I had to go walk my dog, and then I had a call at 10. Call at 10 was super fun. It was great. Onboarding with a new client that I'm very excited about. I'm very, very much excited to work on their stuff. They're actually, I think they fit perfectly into the kind of ideal client type. There are these two clients which I find are pretty awesome right now, and I want to double down on those. And then these two things that I need to ship by like yesterday. I really wanted to have shipped them by now. I had a call at 4 p.m. and one of the things was meant to be for that client that I had at 4, and it's like, well, it wasn't done because the endpoints weren't there. And I couldn't do anything about it. That was not super fun. But anyway, that programming stuff, it's a bunch of work's just piling on. But it's okay. Only way out is through at this point in time, especially. Like, as I get more and more people, my work becomes more and more like handling. I would say I'm probably in one of the more challenging parts of like, I'm not quite fully on a builder schedule because I still have to do a lot of management, communicating between different people, whether that's client management, whether that's team management. But then also, I'm not fully on a management scale because I still got to do a lot of the implementation myself. I'm not at that scale yet. So yeah, I would say that's not the most fun point in time, but you will have to go through it. And like there's just like this little weird bit, like unless you have loads of funds or, but it's just, you will, like one way or another, you're gonna have to do some kind of boring work when you're making your own business, whatever it is. And yeah, this is just, I'm having my little time of that right now. I've had it so many times, but right now I'm having a particularly high dose. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, like you will have the hardest problems given to you as a founder, so it's just part of the game we play. But yeah, I think feeling like unable to ship those things has definitely felt frustrating. It feels like I'm stuck, and I hate feeling stuck. I hate it. There's nothing that brings me more satisfaction than feeling like I move things forward, that I move the needle. That really brings me a lot of satisfaction. And conversely, feeling stuck is incredible. Like it's I would say it's one of the more draining things for me. And it's just a reality that I have to face, especially in development. Like debugging is part of it, and that definitely makes you feel stuck. But anyway, I'm gonna go have some chats with some people on my client's team to get to know them better, just get to know the people I'm working with, try and build a connection. I think it's really important to do that. I hope my backend guy gets on top of his stuff a little bit, publishes those APIs with all the fixes discussed, and then I will hopefully be able to push those things out to production finally. Yeah, and then hopefully on ramp this new guy. I really want him to be good. And hopefully I can get him on some work and just see how he goes. What else did I need to do? Bits and bobs. I have to. No, I already did that. I canceled this subscription thing. I think I'm rambling a lot. It's because I'm tired. I don't have a whole lot of great thoughts going through my brain. I'm drained. It sucks sometimes. I had a nap earlier. I slept for about an hour, which is like, I don't usually sleep for an hour. I usually either do 20 minutes or an hour and a half, because at an hour, you wake up in the middle of your sleep cycle. And maybe that was a mistake because I felt really groggy since that. And that hasn't been super helpful. Like I've had moments where like I kind of found my groove again, but then whatever. But I'm going to go ahead, hop on those calls. I got to figure out how to do this driving. Like I need to figure out time for driving lessons as well. And then walking my dog after and whatever else in between. I just want to sleep right now. Those moments will happen. Yeah, I just got to go back to executing. I think like this week it's really just about executing a lot. I think hopefully that means next week is a lot lighter in terms of workload. Also, I'm really, really hoping I can get my new guy up to speed and take one of these projects off, and like that'll be a really, really big upgrade in a lot of things. Yeah, the end of March I have a bunch of like the 21st through the 30th. I want to be free. So I want to be more free because I have like my parents are coming, my girlfriend's coming, all these things. So I'd really rather have like less huge day-to-day execution workloads and more of the stuff that I find easier to get through. Because when I have distractions, the boring stuff gets left behind, right? Oh, and also I have the trip to Madeira, which I'm very excited about. I'm just considering if there's anything like that oh yeah, I need to buy a tripod. I've been putting that off for the longest time. I think in one of the videos I showed this like ratchet setup that I made with like a little plastic bottle, and then I balanced the little phone holder on top of it. That's like how I film 90% of the time. Or like I just hold my phone like I'm doing right now, which probably isn't the best as well. But yeah. And then I have to, well, on Saturday I have to kind of reflect on my direction toward the goal that I have in April, which is a very, very big one. It's like much bigger than this month. And how I can work toward it without also, yeah, I mean, I want to have my cake and eat it. So like, I don't want to spend like, I'm terrible at forcing myself to like just do things for the sake of doing them. I have to figure out efficient systems. So yeah, that'll be Saturday. I'm excited for that. Like it's just a day I get to reflect and think about things, and I like doing that a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead, hop on some calls, speak to the people on my new client's team, get to know them. We're gonna be working very closely. I think it's really important to like have one-to-one chats, like understand the people, like from a people perspective, not like from a capabilities one. And that's my plan right now. And it's like 6 p.m., so I gotta go. But God, I'm tired. I'm looking forward to sleeping tonight, I think. I might stay up late though. If my backend guy finally gets his act together and gets those APIs like properly working, I might just stay up to finish those and ship those. I'm about to make some dingy little recording setup because I'm too lazy to buy a tripod. And actually my friend's been bugging me about it. Like the one friend who I've been syncing with about like just recording content. And I look at the Amazon thing and it's like $24. I'm like, yeah, okay, like I'm gonna invest in a tripod, whatever. I don't know why. I've just like been putting it off for the longest time. I have this inherent thing against online shopping. I can't explain it. I feel icky. I'm like scared my order is not gonna arrive. It's gonna take, too long, whatever. Anyway, and I'm like, okay. I'm gonna do it, whatever. And then this thing's like $65 because plus shipping, plus tax, plus all this. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. There's no way. And so that completely put me off. And so I'm probably just going to stack some books to record another video, which is what I seem to do every time. But on a more serious note, I was just reflecting. I wasn't reflecting. I was just a little bit worried. Like, I have so much stuff to do. Like I want to be the best. Like I want to be the best at everything that we deliver. And I'm just concerned because I'm just looking at the stuff that I have on my plate and I'm like, how the hell am I going to get this done? But then again, you just kind of figure it out. Like specifically tomorrow, I have like 5, 6, 7 calls. I'm like, let's say at least 5. 5 calls. Plus, I got to do a bunch of front-end work for this, like, in a new project. I got to review a bunch of PRs for this new team that I'm kind of, like, helping manage, organize their tasks, whatever. It's just like, I'm down to work double shifts. Problem is, one of those shifts is taken up by calls. So now I've got 2 shifts and a bunch of calls. Somehow, supposedly, I'm meant to go to the gym in between all this as well. God knows how I'm going to do that. But I just do, like, things figure themselves out. I want to read this thing that I found in my notes. I found this let me try and pop this up somewhere. It's not. Okay, so this is the setup right now. So this is what I'm gonna record myself on as I just find this little note. Because I was looking through some old reflections, and this really hit home. I was looking at some old reflections that are from a little under a year ago. So, I was reorganizing basically this old page full of reflections and things like that. And I found this one, which often I will type out, voice note, record, whatever it is. I will like do something with my thoughts, which I think is really much more useful than just letting them stay in your head. And I've done this practice for a while. And there's this one note, which I was like, I don't know, it's a little bit nice to look back on, but let me read it. I feel frustrated with the lack of clarity, feeling like I'm in the hole again, feeling like I don't know where the next deal comes from again, feeling my runway drying up and my options slim. I hate it. I've been here before. It sucks. Then again, I know the reality. I know this is hard, and this is what hard feels like. Hard hasn't even started. This isn't even hard yet. This is just uncomfortable. This is what I signed up for. This is what makes or breaks. I know literally every founder goes through it to make anything happen. You don't know when the next deal comes. Uncertainty is what I have to learn to deal with. Make the few things I can certain. My work, what I'm working. And it was I mean, I know that I was in a shitty place when I wrote it because I was just like clearly feeling frustrated. And it's nice because like I'm in a little bit of just I'm not in a bad position. I'm just a little bit stressed out with all the things that I have to do and trying to stay on top of them. I wouldn't say like I'm worried. It's just like how I want to be the best at everything, and you can have anything you want. You can't have everything. So making those sacrifices sometimes is challenging for me. And it's just nice to see. It was really nice to see that note because it felt like there was a real evolution there. My struggle has changed for the better, right? Like I'm not struggling because my options are slim. It's more so because I have too much work, and I would much rather have this struggle. That's a far better struggle than the one I was facing here. Now, my backend guy, not delivering on things has been really frustrating and has me reflecting on whether I should even keep that service, like because I don't want to be in this kind of position again. So I either need another backend person or no backend person at all, right? Anyway, that's an unrelated, useless, and stupid debate to have with myself right now. I just gotta record something, go to sleep. It's 12. If I go to sleep at like 12:30, I'll be pretty happy with myself. I haven't been sleeping like 12 to 1 lately at all, so that would be really, really great. Okay, let's count up my calls tomorrow. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 calls tomorrow. 2 of them are with friends, and so I could move. Honestly, I want to get rid of them. I don't have time right now, so I might do that. I might just move them. Yeah, I could 9, but of 3 of those, I could realistically move if I need to. The rest, I can't. They're pretty essential, and somehow in between all that, I gotta review like an entire repository worth of PRs and figure out what's going on, what's what, who needs to do what's the status quo on different kinds of things. So I gotta cut out some time for that. Okay, I just had to pause that recording because I had a little notification. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do that in the morning. The whole like eat the frog principle, do the hardest thing in the morning first thing, I think is a really good one. I don't think I do it enough. That's definitely like something I want to change. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that work first thing. Where the hell am I gonna find time to work on the front end stuff? Okay. Work. Okay. Looks like a plan to me. So got a block of work about 9 to 11 a.m. Maybe 8:30 if I can be up by then. 8:30 till about 11 a.m. I got a call. Got another one at 12. So 11 a.m., 11, 12, one at 1, 1:30, 2. And then I got another block of work. I got 2 calls at 3, but I'm going to move them. Moving to Thursday. My assistant, I'm going to catch up with my assistant. I'll probably cancel that. Yeah, that's not a priority right now. And then, oh my God, I've got this meeting that I've kept putting off. I can't make that. Okay. So that gives me a good 2.5 hour block, which is realistically like 2.5 hours is a good amount of focus. Like I can't, if I stay too much longer, I lose things a little bit. Okay, that's the plan. We'll see if I can stick to it. I'm not the best at like time blocking stuff. That's why I typically don't do it. But just today, I haven't. Also, I make the like terrible and obvious mistake of time blocking without buffer time, and then I move things, whatever. Like I'm generally not good at that. But I'm also gonna add a little gym time slot after dinner because I didn't do it today. So that's gonna be a really back-to-back day. I like these. Like I like being busy. I would say it will be exhausting, especially this kind of stuff, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. And what else? That's it, really. Yeah, I'm waiting on an email from hardware stuff for Bluetooth. I got another week to get this all wrapped up. I know I have another week to get 3 projects wrapped up, and then I'll hopefully be a little more free. I have those 3 wrapped up. Then I have those 2 big clients. I have 1 little retainer, and I want to sign one of the projects that's being wrapped up. I want to sign into a maintenance retainer, and that would put me at 4 active clients, which is not going to meet my April goal at all, granted, but it will put me about a quarter of the way there. Now that I think about it, a quarter is definitely not close enough. But yeah, then I really gotta use my weekend wisely and do the most I can in terms of the story writing work. Like I want to write more about the case studies that we're doing, whatever. It'll be really nice to publish these things as well. So figure out that strategy, write more. I might start writing my newsletter again. I wonder if me in the future is watching this and if I use my newsletter at all. That's been very on and off for years, but it's been a useful little thing. I just got to figure out a good angle because I think it'll be, yeah, I got to figure out an angle where I can tell people about what Mint House is doing, but providing value nonetheless. If I just email people and say, hey, here's what we did this month, nobody cares. Nobody cares or wants to know. The people on my newsletter are gonna if they care for my story, like that's what they care about. They don't care about the company, whatever the company does. They might care, but like they're not gonna, whatever. They're not my prospects. I need to figure out. Oh yeah, there's the investment into that community thing, which I'm probably gonna do, but I'm waiting till Friday because there's an invoice that I want to be paid before I move another cent out of my bank account. Because, well, it's just been too close. Like, no, it hasn't been too close. It's just I booked things. I made payments. Oh, also I have to pay my accountants. Now that I think about it, I owe my accountants like $1,000. So I want to wait for another payment to come in. Then I can make the investment. Having made the investment, and hopefully move in, just start to make friends with the community, build relationships. I should do that sooner rather than later, to be fair. Yeah. Oh my God. It's scary. It's very scary to allocate money. Like, I don't, other than payroll is large expenses, payroll, I understand, like it's a couple grand at a time, but other than that, I haven't made large purchases. Like I don't typically buy super large things, and I'm very, the probably the most expensive things have been like maybe larger, more expensive, like stays. So bookings. And this goes back to, there's this thing of like, oh, people will buy the iPhone, but they won't buy the course. So the reason is because of a risk thing, right? Like you don't know what comes out of that investment. And investments are inherently risky. Whereas if you buy a product, a stay, whatever, like that's relatively certain. And I feel myself hesitating a little bit, specifically because last year I made a couple investments that honestly just really didn't pan out. I put $5,000 into this like coach guy who was just basically a scam, and that was a terrible mistake. And I didn't really like, he didn't help me do anything. The whole point was he was going to try and help me sell people and close new deals, and he did absolutely not do that. And the thing is, I had I literally had like 6 grand when I paid in. So I gambled like everything on that, and it didn't really pan out super well. And I just went back to the basics, and eventually things worked. But it's definitely a little bit nerve wracking to throw. I mean, the thing is, I'm nowhere near the financial position that I was in at the time, but I'm still not looking at crazy numbers. And yeah, I mean, to be fair, I need to run the experiment. Like, what I was going to say is that I want to look at my advertising numbers. And I think Alex Formosi, I saw some clip of him saying earlier, he was like, 3 to 1, you have 3 to 1 LTV to CAC ratio is like, you exist, you're a baby. I think he said 10 to 1 is like, okay, you have a business and it's profitable. 30 to 1 is where like money printing starts. So I'm after a 30 to 1 CAC ratio. So if I put in 2 grand, to be fair, if I close 2 deals, I could probably, I don't know. But yeah, like 30 to 1 is the kind of the ratio that I need to hit. But to be fair, it's also a little bit different because I have not found an effective advertising vehicle. So there is not a specific vehicle where I can spend my advertising money and get a linear return on things. I looked at my LTV to CAC ratio last year was really good. But then I looked into things and it wasn't, because the CAC spending that I was doing yielded almost 0 deals. All of the deals came without advertising spending, which is like on one hand good, but on the other hand bad, because it means that I don't have a way to reliably scale. So the deals had come through network, community building, all that stuff, but the advertising dollars went to different avenues to try different things, and they basically didn't yield anything. And yeah, so that was a big learning. And I only took stock of that when I really looked at the numbers and I crunched them, and I was like looking at my kind of end of year dashboard page. I should probably do that on a quarterly basis or a 6-month basis. But it's important to find like an advertising vehicle that works for you, and then also make sure you have really good returns on it if you want to, do the whole money printing thing. And yeah, so I have to make peace with the fact that I'm gonna gamble a little bit, right? And I'm probably gonna make that investment. What else? Yeah, I probably want to live in London. Living in London will be a large expense. So again, investing in moving myself, hopefully opening new opportunities, but with no guarantee of results, which is the scary part. But that's it. I'm going to keep moving toward the April goal, and I have to do that by any and all means. Any and all means. But I think now I have some more fundamentals in place about like what are the things that cannot slip, because last time I don't think I had those. Anyway, I'm going to get to recording. It's already like 12:30. What am I going to do? What am I going to talk about? Biggest mistakes in my first year? Time management? I don't know. I don't know which one's the best option. Well, I'll make a decision, record something, and then go to sleep. That's the plan.